On June 23, 1937, a man named Oscar Lafleur was born. He grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and he was a brilliant man who worked hard for his money. His background was a pipe fitter. He worked his whole life in that business until him and Jim Bernard started Shaw Industries. Oscar eventually broke off from Shaw and started a business of his own. He was divorced twice, had 3 children, and 6 grandchildren. At the time, Oscar was a retired business owner and he decided to buy a house for him and his girlfriend. This is the River House. The original part of the house was built in the 1940s. However, he decided to build more on the house for his girlfriend to her specifications. She wanted a beautiful house on the river and she loved to entertain. She decorated it in lavish fashion with many Grecian statues and lots of large furniture, as well as antiques. She had wonderful taste when it came to antiques. They lived in a small house next door while the bigger house was being built. It took a little over a year and $2 million to complete the project. In 2016, the Great Flood of Louisiana flooded this house, leaving behind mold and mildew. Oscar being too old at the time to fix the house stayed in such condition until 2022. Oscar was a little over 80 years old when he got sick and went into the hospital to fight pneumonia, but unfortunately succumbed to this disease in 2019. He loved living on the river and having his family around him. This house was his pride and joy at one time. Now the house is being rewritten. A young couple, one from Donaldsonville and the other from Pierrepont, hope to bring life to this house once more. Their journey started on November 2nd, 2022 when they purchased the house. It's a beautiful big piece of land with many pieces of Oscar and his fiancée left. Their story isn't much different than his. Like Oscar, they grew up in Louisiana, work hard for what they have 3 children, and love the lake. These photos were taken on the 10th day after they had bought in the house. The walls from where the mold had touched were being ripped up, carefully missing each of the chandeliers in all the rooms. It's incredibly motivating to see how much of the house has changed from when they just bought it. Since the house has not been touched since 2019, it has been pretty cool to find things that have lasted since then and through the storm, as well as the cool designs that once dressed these rooms. Because there is so much of the house to do and so much planning and dreams, they are planning on having this house finished within 3 years. About a week and a half after these pictures were taken, here is just a little time lapse and voice memo from my mom from where they have come so far.
This is a house that, our little family of 5 can grow, and, the family that we have can come over and gather and, just get together. So, yeah, so we like the land. And
these are my parents, Andrea and Ryan Blanchard, and this is their house. I'm super excited to be along for this journey and to call them my parents. I can't wait to see where this house takes them. Thank you.